So we start to get another stream, this time on Friday. Not every, but usually on Mondays and Fridays, I stream this trading challenge from 1,000 to 10,000 and then beyond. We're currently at around $3,000 the entire position. As you can see here on the, well, maybe I'll go with the portfolio. This is the account value here, 3,000 something. The cool stuff about that is it's still ongoing. We have currently the last position that we had, which is Ethereum short, and there's some kind of a price movement down, which is pretty brutal. We try to investigate what's happening right now, or is it just a chop situation, because it seems like September will be pretty choppy. So this is what we're going to discuss in this video, whether we're closing that position. One of the positions that we had last time, that was the Fartcoin, basically Fartcoin hedge, was closed for us. That hit the stop loss that we put into that at $209. That was the loss. We hit that pretty quickly. We would be fine otherwise, but yeah, you never know where exactly how long it will go down, and we didn't want to lose too much of the capital. Otherwise, it would be pretty good hedge. We could close it for even right now for a little bit of profit, so that would be cool. But we probably mostly will be discussing ETH this time and a couple of other things as well. So that's one thing. I'm just going to check whether everything is fine and whether that works everywhere on every platform right now, so that you can see the stream. Let me know if you have any comments, be that on Twitter, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. We're streaming everywhere, so you'll be able to jump in and ask questions if you want to. It seems like we're live on Twitter right now. Let me check YouTube and other platforms to see what's happening, and then we're going to go and see other stuff as well. And I think everything should be fine here. You should see what I'm seeing. So that's fine. Twitter is working fine. And then I'm going to check also YouTube. Kick and Twitch usually have no problems at all. So it's very easy to set up everything. Yeah, it seems like it's fine as well. So we're going to go with that. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know either on YouTube or Twitter. And I'm going to see that. This is what we're doing right now. So yeah, we have that position from last time. Basically, we had two positions, as you remember, ETH short and Fartcoin long, and that was pretty much the same hedge that we had the previous week. Even with ETH short was a win, Fartcoin long was a loss, and it seems like we have pretty much the same situation. ETH is going down a little bit. We have the current position is that we're going to have a stop loss at $4,700. So the loss of that would be pretty substantial for us. On the other hand, take profit, it will be very rewarding here. What I'm tempted to do is definitely set up a stop loss a little bit higher, so that we have this trailing stop loss. This is one of the premises of this streaming challenge, so that we won't risk everything, but we keep on growing. In the end, we need to have more risky bets. This is a weekly reminder that nothing here is financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all your capital, and also especially that we're trying to do this kind of 10x movements, we have to take really risky bets sometimes, which is not how you usually try to trade. Unless you're desperate or going for the massive wins. So have that in mind. Never commit more than you're willing to lose, and always do your research before jumping in. Also, if you want to trade, use code PCCrypto on Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid is a decentralized exchange you can access, I think, everywhere. I'm not sure where. Maybe some of the locations are geo-blocked, so you have to check. But other than that, you only need your wallet in order to connect and start trading. Which is pretty cool, and this is really great thing. This is how you should do DeFi. Of course, Hyperliquid is super popular, first of all, because they have great user interface, but also because they have deep liquidity, and also they did a massive airdrop where they shared a lot of the wins with the users. So if you were farming Hyperliquid airdrop, you are definitely gaining a lot and winning quite a lot in between. So where we are right now is that we holding this short, especially that our funding still pays, right? It's the funding is positive, so we already made like $16 just on funding, which is already cool. I'm probably going to put the stop loss around here. So again, this is probably the where like 3-6, yeah, this is probably where I would put it, because if we go above that, then I'm feeling like this is the next level, and basically we're going even higher, and I don't want to risk that we going to lose a little bit of that. But still, what might happen is like this kind of action where we go above it and then we lose it. So this is what's happening. However, maybe we'll be able to put other positions as well, and this way it will be cooler. So I'm going to modify that a little bit, and what I said was 366, I think. Yeah. So this will be we still will get $200, which is cool, not the best, meaning that this will basically go and cover what we lost on Fartcoin hedge, but this is already pretty cool. And I'm going to, this is the stop market. I have to cancel this one. Yep. So I have the stop market here. So this kind of movement where you have like abrupt going down, usually have two legs, and this is something that happens often. So this is what we expect here. Of course, this is crypto markets, means anything can happen, but usually you would expect movement like that, and then only it totally goes up. So for that, I probably, depending on the scenario, I'm probably more inclined to put exactly like maybe 4,150 would be a better move here. I'm not sure we go, for example, over the weekend down to $3,900. That would be, well, great for this position. Overall, as a reminder, I'm still bullish Ethereum, especially with all the treasury companies, all the action. And once we get the rate cuts, which probably are not priced in, we might see $5,000 Ethereum. But in the meantime, we might be going lower, and this is the same thing happening with all the other cryptos that we're watching. So as a reminder, we mostly watch different L1s. So you can see that, for example, on Bitcoin, we had similar movements. So it seems like something is happening globally, because if you have the same price action on multiple coins, then usually it's connected to, well, mostly you can check what's happening on Bitcoin. There's probably some kind of a news right now happening. So I don't. Maybe we can see there's probably some kind of global news right now, like CPI maybe came in, or some other macro stuff. Maybe like if I go with BTC macro, we're going to see what's going to happen. Of course, once you write something like that, you're going to have a lot of guys who are, giving you this kind of predictions. I mean, I like them. I often take them with the, grain of salt, because they are contradictory. If you just start scrolling, then, everyone has its opinion. But right now we're trying to see what might be the cause for this movement. And it would be interesting to see whether there was like some kind of a macro thing. There might be like nothing also, like the reason for this kind of going down like 1-2% for Bitcoin might be just some kind of a whale selling, or just, market maker doing something, or maybe there's some fund doing something. So usually we might not even find the reason for that movement right now. So maybe there's nothing here. But yeah, we had this kind of abrupt movement, which might be interesting to watch. And also, so we had this one position on Ethereum right now, and we might either, so what I'm thinking is that this is pretty safe right now. We did this stop loss for the price that, is already pretty cool. And let me just delete that. So it will be, So we have the stop loss for 4,366, which is cool. So if it starts going up, we still will be at the level of like 2,600, I guess, which was the level from the previous trading session, which is, no progress, but still not bad. This is the scenario that we had. So last week we were at $2,600 from 1,000, which is cool. This week we are holding this ETH short. We have the stop loss that would basically mean that we are going to go break even with the previous week, which is already cool. But then if we go down even more, then we're going to win even more right now. And I'm willing to hold it a little bit just for the price action that I showed you. And we're probably going to see a couple of other things. So what I've been eyeing quite a lot lately is Bera coin, and there are a couple of reasons so I wanted to mention that because this is, I think, cool. Bera coin has negative funding for over like the past couple of months. I haven't seen the statistics, but every time I check Bera chain, Bera coin is actually having negative funding. So just by holding long, even if it's small long, you're going to earn quite a lot because of this annualized rate, which is even going lower. So also the price action is pretty interesting if you look at it, because especially right now when it's bottomed at around, like if you were buying that at around 1.6 or around $2, there are moments where you're fine, you can sell that, you can rebuy lower. And if we are currently in this chop period, this coin might be really good for, chopping around. The question is whether we're going to, I don't think we're going to all-time highs, especially when in the beginning that was like around, I think, $12 or something. Yeah, and then it's went down. I think the reasonable price is more around maybe 4. So still, that might be interesting coin for the longer term hold. And this is the coin that you might actually want to hold on Perps rather than spot, with of course smaller leverage or no leverage at all. And the reason for that being that you have this negative funding because so many people are shorting Bera chain. Of course, it might never go back to like $4, so you have to keep that in mind. But if I were to trade for the longer term, here we're trading only for short term, then this might be a good point. I actually was holding a little bit of Bera chain, and I did exactly what I said. 3x leverage, bought Bera chain, probably around this level, so that was like around $2, right? I sold it here around $3, so that was a very nice 50% up, especially on 3x. That gives you 150%, which is really a great move. Plus, you are getting paid in funding. So this is something to take a look at. Right now, this is on my watch list, meaning I'm not entering the position right now here, but I might, for example, Monday or Friday, once we get maybe some kind of a correction, and then we go even lower, because you can see that there are those moments here that you can definitely buy it for super cheap, and then do like 3x leverage, and usually it won't blow you out, but it might be risky. So this is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to probably enter a Bera chain trade, not now, but in the future. Right now we have this ETH, and probably I'm just thinking whether we want to add more to that, close it. But so far I think it's a pretty good spot that it can go both directions. And because we had a good entry point, there's no point in like liquidating that right now. We have a good stop loss also that also will be profitable. So if I were to enter right now, I would, so if you don't have a position ongoing, you might want to have a tighter stop loss around like, I think like 4,313, probably something like that, or maybe a little bit higher, but there's always a risk of, that reversing, but usually that takes time. So I'm happy to hold, especially that funding is still positive and we are just getting paid for holding this short. So yeah. Also, yeah, by the end of the stream, I might change my mind and actually lower the stop loss here, so that we will be even more in profit, but we're going to see. I mean, in the end, we have to go to like $10,000 ideally, and for that we really have to take like more of the risk. It doesn't mean you have to do the same. Please don't, because you might lose your capital. but this is what it is if you want to really have huge gains. So yeah, this is how our P&L curve looks like. You can see those kind of moments here that is going up and down, especially when we are in the position. So there's like a lot of volatility, especially right now. And September might be the month of like more of the chop season. We're probably waiting when it comes to macro, which affects Ethereum. We're waiting for what will happen to stocks, Bitcoin, and then rate cuts. Those might be coming. When they come, they probably will be bullish, and this will be the moment to actually long if we hit that. And if not, we always can wait for like, you know, local top to be hit and try to short from that point on. This is something that I think like on this series of streams, even though that wasn't my intention, I think we made more money shorting than longing. I probably could look at the trade history, but if you look at it from the closed P&L, yeah, the most money we made, yeah, was on short of Ethereum. We did a little bit longing Sol, but then shorting Hype, shorting ETH again, and then, you know. And also cool thing is that you can see from here that actually most of the money was made in a couple of trades, and we just got a lot of losses, but those were smaller losses. We had only, you know, maybe like those two bigger losses of Ethereum and Sol, and then well, smaller ones with Fartcoin and again Ethereum. But usually those were small losses. We're trying to just, you know, opening the trade, seeing how it goes, and if nothing happens, then closing it, which is, I think, a good strategy, especially if you're trying to, you know, feel the market and then do something along the way. So yeah, probably we are right now in a good spot to look at some other coins as well. And this might be a good point, you know, try to short some of the other stuff. Solana is definitely tempting. I mean, I would more shorted from like 2000 and something, 10 probably. This is like the, because I don't think like in the short term, I don't think Solana will go much above 220. So I'm usually shorting all the bumps. And also on the other hand, I don't think it will go much below 180. So I'm longing everything, you know, around 180, 190. So that's the premise here that I'm taking. That's basically should oscillate around $200. When it's right now, you know, it's $200 again. So this is what I was talking about in the last stream. I'm not really willing to short or long it because it can go both directions. Probably more to the upside right now, but who knows? Like if Bitcoin and Ethereum will go down, then Solana will go down as well. We already have the exposure in terms of Ethereum when it comes to down movement. So we're going to keep that. I'm just thinking about maybe not being that greedy, but who knows? Because 3090 is a little bit, you know, this is a little bit greedy. I think 4000 is of course the level that people are watching, because around that, if we go below that, then, you know, anything can happen. Above, there's going to be some kind of bounces here around $4,000, looking at the price action. But on the other hand, we can just be chopping around those levels of like 4,200, 4,600 and going for the whole September up and down, which is fine. We can make a lot of money just, you know, going good with this kind of a chop market. Of course, at some point we have to really have tight stop losses, because at some point, if you are trying to play the chop game, and there's going to be a breakout, and with a breakout you're going to lose the capital, so you have to make sure that your stop losses are in a good place. But apart from that, you will be making money all the time. So this is cool to do. So looking at the CoinMarketMan, this is the application that I was talking about quite a lot, and always look at what people are doing. I think it's cool to compare what other guys are doing. There are a couple, of course, of people that whales that are doing really well. Especially, I was talking about the white whale. He is a little bit down from his top, but still hugely positive with $4 million altogether. Right now he's holding mostly, well, he's on the opposite side here of what we're doing. So he's holding long at $4,600 of Ethereum, and BTC long at 112, which is of course super bullish. But yeah, I'm not certain that we're going to hit that levels. soon. Anyway, if he's got enough, collateral, then he's and he can stomach volatility, because we have seen that, then it's going to be fine in the end. I mean, a lot depends on your strategy, and even if you, in the short term, we're going to go even down, then me too, I believe that, we're going to go over $5,000 in Ethereum, and this position will be massively in profit. But you can expect huge volatility. But looking at his P&L chart, this is what he does, and that's why he has this kind of, like massive swings. He's willing to, hold it longer. If you have more loose stop losses or no stop losses at all, because this is another game that you can play here. You can go with, with cross, what we're doing here, but if we don't put any stop losses, then you're going to play a little bit different game, which you can, well, if you're good, you can win pretty quickly or lose pretty quickly if you're a little bit worse. But there's a lot of ways that are doing that. Just don't put stop losses. Basically, the market liquidates you if it goes against you. But you can also add more collateral in order to push that liquidation price. Especially if you're doing that on like smaller leverage, that's fine. White Whale is doing that on like massive leverage with 40x on BTC, 25x on Ethereum. So that's, I think, the maximum leverage. I think maybe Bitcoin is, Ethereum is definitely 25 here for the maximum, right? So this is the max here, and Bitcoin, I think, Bitcoin is 40 actually. So yeah, so he's doing maximum leverage on those two assets. So he's massively on the bullish side, but if you look at some other ways, they are massively bearish. A lot of them are bearish, so we can have a look at some of them and what they're doing. So for example, this guy, I think, is doing quite a lot. Of course, some of those addresses are bots or doing something else. So this guy is on the other side, right? As you can see, he's basically shorting quite a lot of different stuff. Added probably recently Ethereum, right? Because the funding is pretty low, but mostly he was shorting huge amount of Bitcoin on Hyperliquid. Of course, it doesn't mean that he maybe he has spot Bitcoin on some other place. Maybe he does some kind of arbitrage. So we really have to take that into account. And maybe that's the reason why also he's willing to take this kind of risk. It would be a cool strategy because you make money on funding, especially that we're in the semi-bull market where a lot of stuff has positive funding. So whenever you short, you actually make money holding. So who knows? Maybe he's just having this kind of arbitrage. Altogether, you can also have Leviathans, but also you can look at some other cohorts. So Leviathans are the wallets that have 5 million plus. Money printers are also an interesting category because those are guys with over $1 million P&L. 379 wallets altogether in 24 hours. Those are the guys with the largest positions. You can still see the White Whale here. And here you can see that there's the consensus, or at least the statistical consensus, is that Bitcoin is slightly bearish, Ethereum is slightly bullish here, and then you have a bunch of bearish assets as well. So people are bearish, especially on Fartcoin. I think, yeah, it's pretty fair. We might go back to like 0.6 here, but then it would be definitely a good place to start bidding. So especially if we go to like the level like here, or maybe even lower to 0.6. So there's like a couple of things we can watch, and when we hit these levels, we could get. Yeah, I'm tempted a little bit to put a limit order for that. Let me check that. So I will go like with 6, let's say 0.1, with the size of like 500. But then we have to put also the stop loss of like, let me just Yeah, the lowest point was around February, but I think well, yeah. I see why they bearish, because if you look at it this way, then actually, we're below the lower lows here. So actually, yeah, actually, I don't think like unless we have positive momentum on other stuff, it might be not a good idea to start longing here, or at least even with 0.6. So we're going to wait with this one, maybe. Let's see what's happening with Ethereum. I think that it's going to... Yeah, Ethereum might as well bounce. So we'll see. As I said, like in the worst case, we're also going to... in the worst case, we're going to go to break even, which is still like $1,400 or $600 over what we started with. So that's already pretty cool. We're currently at $3,000. Yeah, I'm going to let it run. This is basically probably a stream with no positions at all. I'm going, like we might be in a chop period. I think like it's not always good to take the positions. Sometimes you just have to sit on your hands. And probably this is one of those times that I'm even though I'm really trying to have a trade every time, this time I think we're good. I think we had a good entry into Ethereum, good stop loss right now. So we are in a good spot. And the longer the chop lasts, then we're going to get more in funding as well, which is also fine. Let me just have a look whether there are any questions, so that if you have any, then let me know. But if not, then probably we're going to end the stream here, and we're just going to just let it run. So I'm just going to note it here that ongoing Fartcoin loss. That was like, I guess we lost by the 210 basically. P&L, so ongoing if short from 01/09/2025, tighter trailing stop loss. Yeah, so as a reminder, I'm just noting everything so that we can come back, and also this is all good to log everything so that you can summarize that in the using ChatGPT or other LLMs, and it's good for a general general ideas of what you can improve when it comes to trading. Okay, so it's going to be it. I think we're going to end here. This is the current position, nothing changes. We're going to stay with that one, see what happens. But I think other than that, we're in a good spot, and we're going to take some more risks, once we end this thing, and either we have a clear situation, whether we, breaking out, maybe going even lower, who knows? We're going to see probably in the next stream. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Use code PCCrypto on Hyperliquid. This gives you various discounts. This is my affiliate code. So yeah,